Recording this because I had this dream and I need to remember it, but I'm driving and I can't write things down. So okay, it started out with me at Norlight, but Norlight wasn't Norlight. It was more like a recreation facility. Like they had a gym and a track and a pool, and they still had the Knock, which was this big NASA-looking room, but it was somehow different. And I was going there to fix something because I had tools and I had cabling and stuff like that. And I went through the double locked doors and all that kind of stuff like I used to do when I would go into work. And one of my coworkers who left before I did, or before we were all laid off, came back. And I had to explain to a bunch of people that, yeah, he used to work here, he knows what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, as we're walking through, it becomes the rec center, and there's this long line of kids and adults and people waiting in line for this lemonade stand where they were charging $10 a glass for this really good, you know, homemade lemonade, blah, blah, blah. And great, whatever. But I found that kind of funny, and I actually committed that to memory. Well, as it turns out, I'm actually leading people with me. They're all behind me, and we get to this table to register for this event that's going on, and as it turns out, I'm with the Cullens, and I'm not Edward or anything like that. I'm their gay son, like the gay vampire. It's weird, and nobody realizes I'm a vampire, and I get all worried because Jasper and Bella have just turned into vampires recently, and they're still trying to control their vegetarianism, I guess you could call it. And so I'm constantly looking around to make sure nobody smells wrong or anything like that, because that would be really bad. Anyway, so we get to this thing, and Edward and myself and Emmett want to be in the competition, but we can't because, you know, it's like running and jumping and like Olympic style stuff. But we don't know that we can because, well, we have all these superpowers and it would be unfair to win or whatever. So we decide that we'll join, but we'll come in like second or third place in our respected events, whatever they were. That being said, we start doing it, and we see Superman, the actual, you know, new Superman Returns guy. He's there, and I gotta make sure this is not my turn. Okay, it's not. He's there, and we're all kind of flabbergasted by that because he's in this track competition and he's running and jumping. Well, as it turns out, he's just doing it for fun and to say hey to everybody. And he goes and flies away. Well, we see this guy who can run really fast and really strong, and he's in this competition practicing. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna join this competition. And as it turns out, I have a boyfriend that I didn't realize until this part of the dream. But this kid who can run really fast and is really strong pretends, or kind of pretends, or whatever, to fall, and he slides off the track into this like brick wall. Doesn't crush it or anything, but just slides there and is laying there. And I go run to say, you know, to see if he's okay and all that. And he looks at me and he's like, you know, you're beautiful and you're cute and blah, 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 blah. And I'm kind of like trying to be like, yeah, everybody says that because, you know, whatever. And he just keeps like hitting on me like hardcore mad crazy. And I'm slightly confused, but at the same time, I'm flattered. So anyway, that being said, he keeps pursuing me, and I don't know what to tell him because, well, you know, in the back of my head, I have a boyfriend, so I can't, you know, pander to this. And he won't give up. And then, of course, I go back to the race, and I talk to Esme, and I'm like, you know, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, just follow your heart and all this kind of stuff, being a typical mom. And then I wake up. So that's my dream.